Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Alright. Well, straight out of the Scarlet Halls and knocking on the doorsteps of the Horde. We're at the Zaralor. We're coming. I'm Slidewhistle.
I'm Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire in Horde Punching Bag. But not today. Today I earned my keep.
Oh, you did. This is episode 6 of Do Not Relent, and let me tell you, we just got off of a pretty long ass-kicking from the Horde that we finally fought back. me and Aaron were just duking it out in Borealis, in our own home city.
We were but children, having fun games, cracking jokes with friends, when all of a sudden, what was it, what'd you say, 40?
Yep, it was probably more than that. I think it was probably 2 raids worth of people, so probably closer to like 60.
Yeah, so like 60 Horde came in and they pillaged, they ravaged. It was honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, gang, it was disgusting. They were killing non-combatants. I mean, I saw one take down a child. He must have hacked the game somehow. It was gross. But we finally did it. We chased them through the streets. We chased them up the keep. We chased them into the wall, into a dead end.
Oh yeah, those people were lost because they didn't know where they were. And honestly, I was like, same. Like, I don't know where I am either. Like, I don't know where we're fighting at. But I would say, Immunization, you know a lot about fighting some Horde this week, don't you?
Yeah, so while I missed this whole defensive Borealis, I'm kind of bummed. I was just getting home and I saw what was going on. But last night, we were just doing some world PvP, and I finally got Horde Slayer on my main Immunization.
Oh my goodness! You did it!
We were just talking about it, like last week, right? Was it last week or was it 2
Yeah,
weeks ago?
literally last week we were talking about the fact that Koragos has it and Immunization doesn't.
Yeah, so it's about time. It's a thing now, Horde Slayer. So while I didn't slay the Horde today in Borealis, I am a Horde Slayer.
We did have to use guerrilla tactics to get it done. We got it done.
Yeah, we couldn't even get it done in Kulturas. We had to sneak off to their continent and just hide off in the deserts of
Vol'dun.
where were we exactly? Vol'dun. Yeah, we were in Vol'dun, and we were just ganking people who were leaving the flight paths.
May I say, I don't know if it's because it's an empty area or people aren't there. I feel like 9.5 out of every 10 Horde Slayers is earned in Vol'dun. I got it there. Will, our other friend and co-host of Heroes Callboard, got it there.
He got it first.
Yeah, he got it first. Slidewhistle got it there. Like, I don't know what's going on with Vol'dun, but it's just so dangerous for the Horde.
Oh, I can tell you what's going on. The Horde are too busy fucking us on our own continent that no one's defending the homeland, and we're just roaming the desert, hiding behind dunes and popping up. Like, there's a guy, kill him. We actually did have some pretty good matches, though.
I'm sure there's a podcast out there called, like, Please Do Relent that is Horde-based that's like, yeah, I was going around Drustvar, and I just was killing people. Because Drustvar is a waste zone.
There was a fair battle. We had a 2v2, actually. There were 2 mages that came up against me and Immune. So it wasn't all just skeezy backstabbing. They were pretty competent until we wrecked them.
Yeah, and there was a few points when they seemed to be bringing in their backup, but luckily by that point I was at 9 out of 10, so we didn't even need to worry about killing too many people. As long as I stayed alive to kill one of them, I got Horde Slayer. So.
Yeah, you just get your one, and then as you're dying, you just flip them the bird. Like, as you change your title. Fuck you!
Right, but then ironically one of them got Alliance Slayer as they were killing me, so.
I think whenever I talk about what I did, it's always just war mode. Like, I'm always just fighting.
It is one of the more enjoyable parts of this new WoW, which is honestly but wild and crazy, because a month ago I had said that, granted I always kept war mode on, but I would say it was one of the major hindrances of being in the Alliance. And now it's turned to like a constant source of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've said it almost every week of this podcast, but the changes that they made to War Mode have just been so great.
Aaron, I don't know if you're aware of this. Somehow it's completely bypassed me that there was an achievement called Conqueror of Azeroth that gives you a title called Conqueror of Azeroth. Did you know that?
Yeah, you have to kill X amount of people in every area.
Yeah, we're real close.
It's like not people-based, it's like honor-based. It's a certain amount of honor that you get from killing people in each region. I didn't even remember it was a thing until I got it in Where were we? Storm Song Valley or something like that.
Yeah, you need to get 1,000 honor in each of the zones.
Oh, I thought you meant that you got like the title, like you got it all. I
Just
was
casually.
I was like, immunization. You just got Horde Slayer and you've killed like 1,000,000 people in each zone.
No, I wish. I have one of the like 8 pieces.
Indeed.
I'm eating chocolate. That's why I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna eat a chip. I'm gonna point my mic away so you can't hear it.
Oh, well, this is an ASMR podcast now, so it's okay if you lean into the microphone as you eat this chip.
I'm gonna give you a real crunch real quick.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Wait, it's my turn. I'm gonna give you a big chocolate bite. Ow.
You just click your teeth together.
No, that was real chocolate. But yeah, there's been a lot of buzz recently on the internet about a hot new class that people have been asking for a long time. And I think it's time that we finally talked about it because I think nobody wants it more than we do. And I mean the Tinker class.
There is nothing more in this world than I want than the Tinker class. My first character was a gnome, and I remember going up to the top after you leave Gnomergon, and I see gnomes with guns, and I'm like, I want to be that. And for the longest time, you couldn't be that. And then Gnome Hunter became a thing, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Like, we're finally there, baby. But it just doesn't feel the same. But with the potential Tinker class, I think the dreams of a 22-year-old Aaron will finally be realized by a 25-year-old Aaron.
Finally.
That that young man has evolved into a slightly less young man who's excited.
If there was a Tinker class coming out soon, and please let Taliesin be right, I would change specs, or I would change my main so fast, which I already do anyway, but oh my god.
We talked about it earlier, but I mean, and I can't speak for immunization, but it'd be like triple Tinkerer real quick. This would be the Tinkerer podcast in like the drop of a hat.
Yeah, as an engineer in real life, it's my like WoW fantasy to be able to be like more than just the engineer profession in the game because professions are kind of meh right now. Which we'll talk about that a little later.
Don't come from my profession right now.
I understand, Immune. As a videographer in real life, whenever that one gnome gives me quests to take photos of stuff, I live. I thrive. I'm still waiting for the taking pictures to be a class. But maybe in Battle for Northrend again, we get bored and we go back there.
We had that in Dronor with the fun selfie cam, right?
Yeah, remember when we first joined this game, which is a sign, that we joined during that patch. Okay, so which races do you think will be able to be Tinkers if it's added to the game?
When it's added to the game. I mean, it's probably gotta be gnomes, obviously. Gnomes and goblins.
Gnomes and goblins are for sure.
I feel like dwarves are kind of a weird tinker class, but like, I mean, they make guns for the Alliance, and the Dark Iron make mole machines. Like they're making stuff. They're tinkering.
I don't think it's quite on the same level, though. I think.
Yeah, I would say that they borrow a lot from their neighbors in Dunmorrow. I think that they have a lot of like technology and tinkerer type stuff, but I think that dates back to the gnomes living in Ironforge when they were chased out of their city. I see the dwarves as good blacksmiths, but I think the technology they claim is all gnome based.
Yeah, you're right. Like I could see them easily just being goblin and gnome. Gnome is one of like the least played races in the game, right? It's pretty low on that list. It's like it boosts it by a lot.
I agree. I think they might introduce Tinker as a demon hunter type thing where it's just goblins and gnomes.
So definitely gnomes and goblins would be the for sure. They would have to be the tinkerers. If I may throw my hat in the ring, I do think Slide's opinion of dwarves being tinkerers could be there. They could be like sub tinkerers. And for the Horde, I would say Forsaken. This is a point I raised in our little private chat earlier, but their new penchant and love of the Blight and technological shit like that, I think that I would say they were the Horde's second best tinkerers. Second to goblins, that is.
Yeah, I guess I could see that as if we need like a secondary one. But then, as we were also saying earlier, with mecha gnomes being added, So that would be another one, I assume, since they're they're mechanomes.
I
They
mean,
have to
yeah,
be
they're,
tinkers,
they're
right? So,
Mhm.
and then on the Horde side, would that also mean that a new one being added in would also be tinkers? So you're discussing maybe Volpira would be tinkers, maybe?
No, I don't mess around with the Horde too much, but do they do anything technological? Like, they live in the desert and I saw some tents, but do they do anything technology-wise?
I won't lie. From my perspective as an Alliance player, they're just slaves. I've seen like 20 slave ones and one free guy that sold me some tea one time. I know absolutely nothing about the Volpiran society.
Yeah, I guess I was just assuming that we needed something else to kind of
Yeah.
even it out if
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything from them that was technological. But again, I haven't come through the Horde side yet. I've been so busy doing Alliance things that I haven't given it a look. So yeah, I'm really not sure on that front.
Okay, so let's dive into what do we think the different specs for a Tinker class would entail. So I think, we've kind of seen this in Islands where, Gazlo is literally in a giant tank. So I feel like that would be the perfect example of what a tank spec would be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like the tank spec for Tinkers would obviously be mech based, and a lot of your defensive abilities would be like adding armor plating or adding like electroshock to the mech, stuff that would do damage while you sort of existed there. And then if I would say like if you do 80% damage to the mech or 90%, you fall out and you become your frail little self. And then all of your cooldowns suddenly switch. So instead of survivability, they become about rebuilding your tank meter. It's an interesting hybrid tank in which you can soak up a bunch of damage, and then once you fall out, you kind of have to dive back real quick, and you can do small amounts of damage while you build up your tank meter to get back in there.
So like a Diva style tank, which I can get behind.
Well, yeah, I it's a WoW podcast. I didn't know if we were mentioning other Blizzard properties, but yes,
Would you be as squishy as Baby Diva out of Mech though?
except that Baby Diva out of Mech is the better version of Diva. So
I will not stand for this Diva slander on this podcast.
it's not Diva slander. Out of Mech Diva is the premier Diva.
But not at tanking. Imagine Baby Diva trying to tank a raid. She wouldn't last at all. She has so little health.
Well, I guess that is a built-in tank swap, right?
For DPS, I feel like a ranged tinker would almost just end up being like a gnome hunter already, where they have mech pets and they are firing guns. Like they'd have to really get like wacky and crazy with like the abilities. Like they have to go like outside of the box and have like chicken cannons and have like those really annoying trap guys that used to be one of like the top engineering thing back in the day. There's just like a lot of things that they'd have to kind of look at and add a lot in for it, you know?
Yeah, I kind of pictured it as being like, rockets, projectiles, shrink rays, freeze rays, speed boosts, even a fucking glider or something.
Honestly, well, actually, I guess there's no class specific things, but like access to a glider every X amount of minutes, I feel like that'd be a really cool thing to give to the Tinkerer class because it gives you an inherent boost to people who just do other races who just do engineering versus those who are specifically tinkerers.
Yeah, but it'd have to be like what you described, that is just an engineering item. So I think they'd have to go bigger and broader than that, you know?
Or like have a built-in the goblin race thing is a jetpack.
Uh-huh.
I guess you couldn't take that from them, but have something similar to it.
I feel like they'd have to just really get innovative because it'd be kind of lame to just kind of rehash old engineering abilities and to make them stronger. I think they'd have to kind of get crazy with it, and I mean like it's Blizzard, like they can pull it off really easy. If there was a healing spec, how would that work? Like we see like there's that undead Lady Senna when in Island Expeditions who has like healing beams, but like what else would they have other than like a healing beam? You know what I mean?
If I may, something I was kicking around, and this is probably an awful idea. So all healing is done from a distance with magic spells and stuff. I think it'd be interesting to have a mid-range healer who has to physically walk around and they can throw vials of like azurite potions or salves, or you have to get physically next to someone to do a tune-up. And maybe these heals were like top tier level. I don't know if that would make a poorer healing experience, but I definitely think it would be interesting. It'd be different.
Isn't that kind of how holy paladins work though? They're all like up in front in the battle, right?
From my brief Holy Paladin stint as Tandrixon and the OG Zaddy, it was definitely something you could do from a distance.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. But how would we even kind of? You know what? I'm just gonna pull a time warp. Time warp.
I'm pouring my drink.
I just poured my Svedka.
Oh God, you already thought you're ready to lose already?
We're both ready to lose.
Okay, are you guys ready for this time warp?
Yes.
Yeah, as ready as I'll be.
You have 40 seconds to think about this question and answer it. And the question is: Warlords of Draenor dungeons. Go.
Skyreach. Temples of Akandun.
Oh fuck. The
Iron-
Grim Rail.
I- Iron
No.
Docks.
The what's? Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. The one in the Everbloom.
Shit. That is one. Shit, I
Shadow
can't
Moon
think.
Burial Grounds. Is that one? I don't.
Yeah. I really was done on Skyreach.
Yeah. Same.
Shit. Was there only 4?
Oh, I think we're just forgetting a lot of them. There's the one where.
Time.
Oh.
You guys.
Was that 40?
You guys fucking tied, by the way.
Oh.
So you
It was
both
a good
said-
thing we
you
both
said-
poured.
You both said Skyreach, and you guys both finished at the same time. Even though Immune said it like a real life Arakoa. By the time he finished Reach, Aaron had said Skyreach just as fast. You guys tied at Skyreach. Immune got Shadow Moon Burial Grounds, and he got Everbloom, and Aaron also got Skyreach, and then got Auchindoun, and then the Iron Docks. So you actually tied it perfectly.
I was about to say, don't give me a fake tie like last week, and then I end up losing.
But you did miss the Bloodmoth Slag Mines with the Fun Low Bowling minigame.
Damn it. Yeah, and where you can get Conan.
Immune said Grimrail, but didn't finish his thought and moved off of it. So it's Grimrail default.
I combined Grimrail with Iron Docks in my mind, but then just as you were finishing, I was remembering that one of the dungeons was on a train, which I think that's what that is, right?
Yep. And then you missed Upper Blackrock Spire. So you guys are tied.
Okay, well, I already poured the shot, so I'm going to take it.
Oh,
Same.
oh okay. Well,
Yep, next week is mine. Hopefully it goes better than last time I hosted it, where we had a solid 1-1 tie.
Okay, where were we? Okay.
We were talking about Tinkerer healers.
Oh, right. Yeah, so as I was saying, I was thinking that it would be an alchemist type class, which is my idea of it was very similar to what you were saying, that they would, specialize in like throwing potions, having like healing azurite spray guns, that do like AoE healing. Yeah, so it's basically what you were saying, and like that inherently would mean that they'd have to be a little bit closer. So would we just have these 3 different specs then, or would there also be a 4th one like Druid with melee DPS?
Yeah, that's what we were discussing earlier. So I think that there are a lot of close-up engineering type stuff, like boxing gloves and automatic arms and things of that nature that would be really neat. But I was thinking of this today in this hypothetical Tinkerer class. What kind of weapons do you think they would use?
well, I just was reminded of something that existed. You guys remember in Draenor when you're running around Gorgrond and you get to choose between either having the mech suit or having the random champion who'd fight for you, and like they would like open like weird boxes for you or whatever. When you were in that mech suit, you had like a flamethrower, you had like a mega like missile launch. They could kind of use the basis for those abilities in that Gorgrond mech suit to be like a DPS spec, or even for the tank spec if they wanted to.
I was about to say, in Protection Warrior, you get an ability in Legion where you put your shield down and you spew fire from it. Just take that whole sail and put it into the mech spec, and that's a cool ability.
Yeah, and it's already off the Prot Warriors. Like, they don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as far as weapons go that they would be equipping, I would say it'd be like mainly like the hunter weapons, right? For like all specs, really, it'd be like guns, mainly guns and crossbows, maybe.
I see it being treated very similar to how glaives are for demon hunters, where you get like the rewards for some classes are a spear or a gun, but if you're a tinkerer and you do that, you'd get, I guess, just a cooler gun. Or for the melee classes, I see specific fist-based weapons. If it is like electroshock gloves or like explosive boxing gloves.
Huh. That would be kind of cool, actually, having like shocking gloves or boom gloves or whatever. Like, there's a lot of fun variety that they can easily spice it up with.
Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a stressful week, and all week long, I've been on that quest for hat. I'm still tracking down the Gilnean top hat.
Dude, just buy it.
You can't. Actually, yeah, you can, but for as much money as Growlina has. But,
He is going across the map to find a sacred flat-brimmed hat. He will journey across the sand. He will strike out any man. All his foes will fall down dead to the depths atop his head. He knows what he has to do. He'll never leave the island queue. He won't waver pen on that. He will win this quest for hat.
I ran like 17 islands and I still don't have it.
Womp womp.
And that's it.
Okay, well, I hope you get the hat.
I hope you don't.
There's probably a better chance of the latter. I've ran a lot of islands and I still don't have that damn hat.
Well, it only drops from a certain one, right? I think it only drops from the Gilnean one. Did you get the Gilnean one?
Only Havenswood.
Did you get it at all when you did your islands?
I did once, but all I got was doubloons.
Well, that's sad. Well, speaking of doubloons, I guess we can talk about what's happening on the Horde side of things. There's been some data mine stuff with broadcast techs where we learn some interesting information about Derek Proudmoore and Bane Bloodhoof? Question mark, question mark, question mark?
Ooh, do we have a second member
Of what?
of the Betray the Horde faction of hashtag Green Team?
We just may, actually. So this is obviously spoiler. A spoiler-centric show because we're talking about whatever we want. But it turns out what happens in 8.1.5 is that when Sylvanas resurrects Derek Proudmoore, a bunch of people on the Horde are like, "What are you doing? This is gross. You can't do that." And I guess Bane is like the loudest dissenter. So he's finally doing something. It's kind of miraculous. It turns out that Bane and there's a human named Thomas Zelling who was a Tide Sage, and he had a terrible disease, and I think Lillian Voss helped resurrect him under some crazy circumstances. It was weird, but anyway, so he's a brand new undead working with Bane and stuff, and Bane ends up freeing Derek Proudmoore from Sylvanas' clutches. Like he lets him go.
Wait, what was?
That's my interpretation too. Wait, what?
Wait, were you aware that Derek Proudmoore was resurrected by Sylvanas in the first place?
I was, I think, right? So, like, this is the part that Aaron was talking about a few weeks ago where he was resurrected, but he wasn't doing anything they wanted him to do.
Yeah, he was very, very anti-Horde. He was like, honestly, just kill me. And then Sylvanas was like, I'm gonna torture you till I almost kill you. And he was like, can you please just do more? Like, I'd like to die, please.
Yeah, so like he doesn't want to be there, and she wants him to use his intelligence about the naval fleets, about the city of Borealis, about all that against them. He's like, well, no, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck you. So Bane and Thomas help free Derek Proudmoore, and Derek Proudmoore escapes. So basically now it's turning into a second choice, kind of like it's exactly like the Sarfang quest, where it's like, do you want to side with Sarfang or do you want to side with Sylvanas? And there's a bunch of texts about it where Sylvanas is basically kind of like, he's a traitor, he needs to go. And she arrests Bane. She puts him under house arrest, apparently.
I am honestly living as a diehard Alliance stan. I am living for the shitty Horde turning against itself. Like, we have Tyrande giving sass, but she isn't actively betraying Anduin yet. I am loving the Horde falling in upon itself.
Now, one of the more interesting things on top of that is that Jaina is reunited with Derek, who, as we know, is now an undead guy.
Wait, under what circumstances? How are they able to be reunited if he's like captured by Sylvanas?
No, Bane was captured. Bane freed Derek. And now
Yeah, but I figured that since he was resurrected by her, he was probably with her, right?
yeah, and then Bane freed him, and then he escaped.
Yeah, because Derek was never about being with them in the first place. He wanted nothing to do with the Horde, so probably when Bane freed him, he just left for Coltiris.
He probably just walked home because he's undead, so he can breathe underwater, right? So he can just walk under the bottom of the sea back to Borealis, taking forever. But it's interesting because now Jaina and Derek are reunited. Well, Derek says, "Will you come with me, Jaina? I don't know if I can do this alone." And Jaina says, "Of course, Derek. No matter the storm, we will face it as family." So Jaina is just willingly just hanging out with her undead brother, which is crazy because normally Alliance go, "Ew, yuck. My dad's a zombie. I hate him now." But now she's embracing an undead. So what does this mean for human undead relations in the future? You know what I mean?
Well, does this mean that there's a second premier undead that isn't siding with the Horde? I'm talking like Kalia. So could this ultimately mean that we will get detracting undead in the Alliance?
It kind of sounds like it, doesn't it? It sounds like it's kind of setting up for Alliance sympathizing undead, which is crazy. It's kind of insane.
Normally, I'd be about hyping up Green Team, because I do believe that's coming eventually. Please check Heroes Call Board for that conspiracy theory.
Green Team sucks.
Green Team's going to happen eventually, but yes, I do believe we're, especially with Kalia and whatever she's becoming a thing in the Alliance. I definitely think we're going to start getting some converts, which is awesome because I want the Horde to lose any power that it has.
Wait, what if Kalia and Derek hook up? That's like an undead power couple, right?
Exactly. People Magazine of Azeroth is going to report on it.
But what is happening on the Horde? Sarfang's on the run. Bane's in jail. What is Lorthramar doing? Is he doing anything?
What has Lorthamar ever done? Island of Thunder was the only time that boy ever did anything. And you could put me on record saying that.
I just feel like there's a lot of straws that are just breaking that, something's got to give. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people are probably upset that they're just gonna fall back on the everyone's gonna turn against Sylvanas Garrosh style, you know?
But she's kind of turning on everybody else. And I don't think it'll be like Garrosh. I don't think she'll die. If they kill her, oh my god, can you imagine? There would be so much hell to pay from the fans if they killed off Sylvanas. I think she'll probably step down or get fired from her job as war chief. But yeah, it's just kind of insane that somehow things have gotten worse. It's kind of like US politics over there on the Horde side. It's pretty rough.
Like I said, I am living for it. We only have one faction that's trying to be sassy to the Alliance. That said, if this is the precedent that's being set for the Horde, I worry about halfway through this expansion, are we going to have more problems on the Alliance? They typically like to balance these things.
I don't know what part of the Alliance would really rebel against Anduin's authority.
Night Elves and Worgen right now are the main ones on the chopping block. As much as I hate to admit it as a Worgen.
I don't think that the Night Elves are going to turn against Anduin. They're just we need our forces for ourselves right now. And then Anduin was oh, and then Gen joined them. I don't think that it's the same thing as what's happening on the Horde right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's damn near getting close, though. I feel like there is going to be some tension. I mean, there already is tension happening. And I wonder if Anduin's going to attempt to punish Tyrande for what she did. But I don't know how exactly he would go about doing that. What is he going to do to her?
I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, she was one of the strongest people in Azeroth before she took the Dark Moon Lord into her soul. At this point, it doesn't matter who you are. You're not going to beat the Night Elves. Just let them fizzle out, and then maybe you can put them in jail.
Along with what's happening with Bane, they're actually messing around with more player choice options. And so far, as Alliance, we ain't getting shit, which is kind of pissing me off. But the Horde get another fun choice option about Bane and Derek Proudmore. And you basically, as Horde, you're going to have an option if you want to snitch on Bane or if you want to try to hide him from the cops. Nathanos asks you what's going on, and option 1 is Bane Bloodhope has requested that I must help him with a secret task. You basically just rat him out completely to Nathanos. Like, flat out, like, not even dicking around. Or you can hide the information, and it says, this will surely draw Sylvanas' ire. Are you sure you want to keep this from Nathanos? And then you can just, like, not report anything. Which I wonder if that will compound at all on the first option of hiding Sarfang's location.
Honestly, a lot of these options kind of point to, like, the Horde being divided into 2 factions, so Aaron's green team thing is not all too far-fetched.
Aaron's green team he wants a third. No, it's far-fetched. Well, they're doing this is because players like
Green team
Andrew,
is not far-fetched.
Far-fetched, no one wants it. Like Andrew, who has a Tauren, who is like, my character wouldn't do this. They're kind of just doing this that way you can have a say in what your character actually said and what your character actually chose to do. Before it was just like, here you go, do this quest. And like, well, I don't want to do this quest. This quest is bad for like what I stand for. So basically, it's just a way to like make you like so you can stand up to her, you know?
So it's to make you feel better even though you can't actually do anything different?
Correct. I do not think that this won't change any of the outcomes, but it gives you, like, from a character standpoint, it gives you a choice in that you can choose to make your character say, no, I ain't telling you where Bane is, I'm going to hide him out. But there's another option, too. So I guess later, you know how we saw that image of Sylvanas with Xalatath, the Naifu?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess at some point, I'm not sure if at this point we get it before she does or if we get it after she does, but you get Xalatath and for some reason decide to empower her and you unwittingly help her free the dagger as part of a deal with N'Zoth. Players are then given a gift of N'Zoth buff, which places eyeballs on nearby players. And so I think this is also Horde only, by the way, which sucks because...
Wait, you're telling me even though I physically have Naifu, I can't do this?
See, but you don't have Naifu. Naifu, throughout her history, she has left her owners whenever she wants to. So she can leave your bank whenever she feels like it. And she apparently already has. She's hanging out with other people.
Maybe I should call her ex-Naifu.
But so you get 2 options for this one too. You can either choose to keep the buff, and it says, the darkness within you swells, I warn you. This will be very painful. Oh no, this is him cleansing you. So Brother Pet can cleanse you for option 1. Or you can choose to just keep it. You can just hang on to it. Which is like, that's kind of shady. Like, why would you want to keep a gift of N'Zoth from an old god? Like, what would that mean for you? Something bad, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't tell anyone about that.
Well, don't worry, because as Alliance, we finally get our option, guys.
Wow, I'm surprised that Blizzard didn't just forget about the Alliance lore-wise again.
Well, I have bad news, because this isn't really a real option. This is an option for the blacksmithing Tools of the Trade quest line, so if you're not a blacksmither, you don't get to see this option anyway.
I rescind my words.
Okay.
They forgot about the Alliance again.
I'm going to walk away for a little moment while you talk about this. Continue.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to.
Fair
It's
enough.
just an option you can have if you do this quest. And I have a blacksmither, and I don't care about this. Like, who cares? Come on, like, where's our cool shit? Like, let us choose to go back with Tyrande and help her, or stay with Anduin and stare at a map. You can give us something easy. It's not hard, right?
We've just received some breaking news from our on-the-scene reporter, Growlina. Let's see what she has to say here on this segment.
Hello, everyone. This is Growlina, sitting here at the docks of Borealis with friend of the show, Deoxyribose. Say hi to the audience, Deoxy.
Hello.
We were just going about our business here when all of a sudden an epic duel broke out. We're sitting here with fellow onlooker, Bad Judgment. Bad? What's your take on this? Do you come to these fights often?
No, but I saw Borealis was being attacked, and I wondered about trying to find the problem.
Well, you found it. This quarrel amongst men. What do you think makes these two such excellent fighters?
The self heals most honestly. One is a druid and the other a death knight. They can stay up for years.
My champion! Wow, what a turnout. I bet his fingers broke, dude.
Was there any gold on this fight?
Yeah, 500k. Pay up.
Round two! I'm jumping in. Well, it seems the outcome's been decided. Will you be attending more matches like this in the future, Bad?
Why, yes, I feel like I have to now.
I'm glad to hear that. With this fight settled in money exchanging hands, this wraps up another day here in Morales. Thank you, Bad, and thank you, audience, for listening. My name's Growlina, and this has been Growl on the... Oh, shit!
Oh God! What happened out there? Hopefully we here at the studio hear back from Growlina soon.
Well, after that report, I think it's time for our sexiest NPC of the week.
Hey, hello.
Oh.
How are you? Hey, how are you?
So, this week's sexiest NPC of the week is none other than Moira.
Ooh, Moira Thracian, head of the Dark Iron Dwarves.
I don't know if you've heard, but she is the most eligible bachelorette after we murdered her husband deep down in the mine.
After we went into the catacombs and fucking lit up her husband.
We also ran through Heathrel and Seathrel and Angerel.
And Hate Rel.
Mean Rel. Not very nice Rel.
Urel.
You didn't go to my birthday party. This is a callback from the last episode.
I mean, who wouldn't want to marry this? Like, look at her. Those sweet buns on the side of her head, looking real good. Look at those buns.
You don't have to worry about getting a priest to do it, because she can just marry you guys.
Wait, are you suggesting that she would officiate the wedding at her own wedding?
I mean, she's a priestess. Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
And honestly, I'm going to look at you guys in the face and say this. She is the only dwarf who's been doing shit out of the past couple years.
And also, her son will rule the Dark Iron.
I mean, how can we forget? She tells us all the time.
You can marry into a dynasty, like, real quick.
Also, when's he gonna grow up? He's been little for, like, so long now.
Been like little baby model forever.
In Before the Storm, he said, like, actual words
Oh,
at
yeah, that's
Anduin
right.
when he showed up there. So I think we're gonna, whenever they decide to revamp the main world again, I think we're gonna get, like, a teenage Dark Iron, which will be wild, because we have never... I mean, well, also, does he exist as a child Dark Iron model?
I think he might. I mean, last I saw, he was just a little, like, bun in a bread basket. Like, just a little baby. I don't know if they updated his model. They actually might have, but I'm not sure. I haven't been to Ironforge in a while.
I haven't ever seen it if they have.
Even if he's still a child, that would be a new model. Like, we've never seen a child, honestly, dwarf at all. And you know what? Actually, we've never seen a child anything other than human and Draenei. But it would be a new model. It'd be the first Dark Iron child or teenager.
Stay tuned for that one when we get that in like 10 years, right?
Yeah, that shit's never gonna happen. Although, yeah, I don't.
Anduin did it. Maybe little baby, the Rusian could do it too. What's his first name? Baby the Rusian?
It's like Danath. I think it's Danath. Hold
oh,
on.
After his
I'm gonna-
grandpa or his dad. Grandpa.
I'm gonna Google real quick.
Oh god, we're on the air googling. Go.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Or I'm sorry, Dagran. Dagran.
My son, Dragon the Rusian.
Dagran Tharusian.
All right. Well, this is Moira. She's got hot buns. She's got a hot dynasty. Also, she's wearing like a sexy Princess Leia outfit here. When was she wearing this outfit? Does anyone know? It's like...
I'm not gonna lie to you, Slidewhistle. That is not Moira.
Oh, what?
I literally found this picture on Wowpedia, so I need to give me a second.
Oh, well, that's your problem. It was on Wowpedia. It was Wowpedia shit.
The buns are different. I mean, maybe it's a model update. That is not Moira. That is a character who is just
I think
modeled
you're
after
right.
Moira.
Yeah. I mean,
Because the look she's sporting now with the dark cloak is like her updated model, but her old model never looked like that.
well, and the OG one's wearing like a big old white dress, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I misspoke. It's on WoW Wiki, and I guess this is her model in Blackrock Depths.
So it's confirmed for model.
Oh, then I'm a darn fool.
You fool. We all have those moments. Just one of those days.
You don't want to wake up. Everything sucks.
I got 2 fun things for you guys here. They're going to be very relevant to us soon. Have you guys seen the official spreadsheet for what your race will become in Battle for Dazara lore?
A race?
Because you become a member of the opposite faction.
Oh, did they confirm this? What it would be?
Confirmed.
Wait, can I guess mine? Can I guess mine?
Yes, in fact, I want you guys to guess yours. Please proudly state your race and what your guess will be, what you turn into.
Growlina, is a Worgen, and I'm guessing because we've been fighting them for years, I'm going to be Forsaken.
And Immune, your guess?
Well, okay, so as a normal Draenei, I think that I would be a Blood Elf?
So, you both will probably be disappointed.
Okay, well that's a hell of a way to lead into it.
We're wrong.
Yes. So, Pandaren will turn into Pandaren.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay.
Gnomes turn into goblins, unless they're monks.
Makes
They're
sense.
Blood elves.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Because
what?
Goblins can't be monks.
Wigglestein's gonna be a blood elf? Okay.
Isn't that weird? Dwarfs turn into orcs.
That doesn't make sense, but okay.
If they're a paladin, they're a tauren, and if they're a priest, they're an undead, because orcs can't be priests. Night elves turn into trolls, unless they're demon hunters, then you know.
I mean, night elves are just trolls, so that makes sense.
Humans turn into undead. That's interesting.
Hmm.
And then undead turn into... and then if they're paladin, they're blood elves. Now for you two, who are left for last, Draenei will be turning into tauren. You get to be a big, beefy cowgirl.
I purposely stopped being Horde because I couldn't handle how slow it felt to walk as a tauren.
Well, don't worry, because now you get to be even slower.
And Aaron, as a worgen, you get to be a troll. Enjoy your nasty little feet. Again.
I already have. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
I guess as a tauren, I still have those hooves too, so maybe it's by feet. Is that how they determine this?
Yeah, that's probably how they determined
They
it.
went
They
by
were like,
feet.
hoof feet goes by hoof feet. Nasty, gross toes goes by nasty, gross toes.
And then I guess undead, they're just human feet with just the bones. Dwarf and orc though, are dwarf and orc feet similar?
I mean, arched over characters I don't want to see on my timeline.
Oof, damn.
Got 'em.
I love you, dwarves. You serve a good purpose. Don't show up in my raid.
It seems like none of the Horde races turned into Worgen, which is weird. I think
Well,
that's weird.
because there's not a direct equivalent, I feel like.
Yeah, but trolls get 2.
Design-wise.
I was reading that they probably matched it up to the race that shares the most classes in common to make it easy. You know what I mean? Human and undead are basically gonna be everything, or just about.
Which,
so
so for Worgen, that would mean they'd have to be tauren or trolls. So I guess the troll thing makes sense, because they're one of the only ones that can be druids.
right, and then because Draenei needs something, tauren fits the most too. So it works out. It's definitely interesting. I get to be a goblin, which is fine. I already leveled the goblin already, so whatever. I get to be filthy and green.
Yeah, I won't lie. I'm a little let down because I was really feeling the Forsaken Worgen connection, considering they stole our home. But I mean, it makes sense within the game. Boo.
But also, well, I guess this isn't also. But later in 8.1.5, they're trying to make our professions cooler, which I think is always fine. Like, hey, I don't know how you guys are feeling about your professions right now.
They heard me earlier in the podcast saying that I hated how professions were.
Well, you hated how engineering worked.
Well, hold up. Immunization. You're an engineer? Like the immunization is an engineer?
Oh, no. In-game immunization is a tailor enchanter.
Okay. I was like, I've never seen her craft anything, so she's a shitty engineer if she is.
Wait, so Aaron, you're an alchemist, right? And then Immune, you're an enchanter, right?
Yeah, I'm enchanting in tailor.
So they're adding in like unique items in 8.1.5 for everybody, for every profession. So Aaron, for you, you're gonna obtain Silas's Sphere of Transmutation.
What am I obtaining?
Silas's Sphere of Transmutation.
Interesting. Is that like an offhand? Do we know what this is?
So what it does is you concentrate on the sphere to transmute it into another object for 1 hour. What does that mean?
Also, why is that alchemy?
It says highlights and allows the player to interact with various cauldrons on Kultiris and Zandalar. Oh, hang on. It has a description. The sphere surface swirls and shifts, showing different images for brief moments, never long enough to see what they actually are. So it sounds like it's randomly going to turn into something. And you get that something for an hour? That sounds kind of lame, honestly.
You know what? Because alchemy gave you a really strong, like, mid-level thing of making flasks, they're just fucking around on the end game now. They're like, we had to add something, so here's this Goofenheimer thing. Just keep making flasks to get money.
That kind of makes sense. I feel like you guys have the most gold to be made out of your stuff.
Yeah, of everything, flasks are the most essential thing when it comes to raiding. So it's like all the top tier stuff are just whatever. Here's a silly thing.
Now, Immune, yours, I think, seems the coolest out of all this list of things you can have.
What is it?
You get Ewan's Enchanting Rod. You consume 1 veiled crystal. Are those expensive to get?
What kind of crystal did you say?
Veiled crystals.
I think I have many of them, honestly.
Okay. So you consume 1 veiled crystal to animate an inert golem. You get golems, which I think are just going to be bodyguards that follow you around.
Like, would these be worth summoning during a raid, or?
Turn around. Look at my screen. Look at this golem. It's a scary.
Ooh.
It's kind of like the model of those oh my god, the harvest men that run around farms. It's like that, but he's wearing a Kultiran diving helmet and he has 2 hooks for hands, and I don't like it.
Oh.
Yeah, so you get 2 options. So you can enchant a Tide Watcher, and it says an enchanted Tide Watcher is protecting you for 30 minutes. Or you can enchant a Voodoo Mask, which is probably the Horde version. And then you also gain extra resources while disenchanting.
So while I have him, I get more resources?
I think while you have this rod. So how it works is you make the rod, and then to use the rod, you have to use 1 veiled crystal to animate 1 golem on a 5-second cooldown. Now wait a second. Can you have multiple golems guarding you if you have enough crystals?
Probably. That's what I would assume if it's on a 5-second cooldown.
Maybe it's for like if it dies, you can like make another one really quickly. So yeah, so you actually get 2 things. You get a golem, and then when you have it, you get extra resources while you disenchant. I think that's just the wand.
I mean, that's pretty neat.
That's super cool. For me, for engineering, I get the Uber Spanner, and it summons an Uber Invention, which kind of sounds like the Hearthstone card for Mechatork, where when you played him, he would summon like 1 of 3 random things. I get the Uber Improved Target Dummy. I don't know what that means. It could be anything.
What does a standard target dummy do?
No, a standard target dummy is kind of like the what'd you name your fun little ox for your monk?
Laverne Ox.
Yeah, Laverne. Yeah, so it's like a tank kind of. I think it takes aggro, and it's like it's a distraction, and it's just like a big wooden man who waves back and forth. It's like, hey, hit me, hey, hit me, or boom bots, which are like those little bots with like little legs and they run around, or the Uber Sentry Mech X 8.0.
Oh shoot, what's that?
Have you ever quested in Tier Guard in that like lost gnome area with all like the gears and cogs around?
Yes.
Now, you know those little robot dogs that are running around?
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
Wow.
It's a
So
robot dog.
you can make those now?
Yeah. Well, I think I have a chance to make it. I think the Uber Spanner has a random chance to make one of these three. We don't know a lot yet, but if it says it summons an Uber invention, it doesn't seem like I get to pick one of these. No, it says enables the engineer to craft Uber constructs. So yeah, I could choose one of these. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not sure that this will act like an immune golem and guard me, but that'd be awesome if it did.
Yeah, that guy looks pretty cool.
And there's text for it, or it's just like talking about like autopilot mode engaged, kill all hostiles. All right, cool. Sounds good to me.
Killing my enemies sounds pretty cool.
Jewel crafting gets the item that lets you extract the gem from your socketed items. So like you don't have to waste the gem. You can just pull it out. You can pry it out. That's fine and whatever. Leather workers get to summon a special mount, which can only be ridden within Kulturas and Zandalar. It also allows them to interact with special drums, granting them 1 buff for an hour. That's like an all-around useful. Like you get a cool mount, and you get some drums, I guess. Oh, tailoring. You get synchronous thread. Allows synchronous tailors to mend tears in the fabric of time. What the fuck? Wait. The threads of time sew cloth from past, present, and future. Cloth displaced in time can be found more often in the world. Oh, so you just get more cloth from stuff. That's kind of...
Like, does that mean I get old cloths or just more current cloth?
It sounds like it increases your cloth drop rate. It sounded really like something crazy, but I guess it just gets you more cloth, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess.
I also like the description. It's a stitch in time saves the world from its demise. Get it? Stitched in time because you're...
Yeah, okay.
That's something. Tailoring, leatherworking, and jewel craft. Oh, inscription. This is what Aaron could have had back in the day.
This is what Will/Tyre would have if he came back to the World of Warcraft.
Is he sub still?
He is sub still. He's just dying, which has hampered the other podcast. But get
He's
ready
still
for a
dying?
fun. Get ready for a fun clip show.
Wait. You know what you should do? You should have a guest show, like, and just have me and Immune on, and we could do it all over again.
I mean, don't tempt me.
I'd be down. It'd be kind of funny. In scripters, you get the sanguine feather quill of Lanafel, who is the vampire bitch from Ice Crown, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
It siphons the blood of the dead around you, restoring your own health in the process. Huh?
That sounds a lot better than a magical orb you can see a fuzzy vision in.
Well, wait, it gets better. It also allows you to create blood contracts. It doesn't say what the blood contracts do, but we do have their names. Blood contract Bloodguard. Blood contract Bloodshed. Blood contract Oblivion. What the fuck? What does this stuff mean? It sounds kind of scary.
I would assume maybe like it gives you an NPC that follows you around and acts as like a protection.
Yeah, it sounds similar to golems and the engineering one. Or like maybe even like a shield, maybe like a blood shield.
Mm-hmm.
And we have blacksmithing left, which we already snubbed due to that one quest earlier. You get the Kasgorian hammer, which allows the user to repair a piece of their equipment instantly. And it's free, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Wait, but it gets better though. When crafting blacksmithing armor or weapons, there's a chance to be given the property of indestructible. So when making shit, it can make your shit not cost any repair costs. Though, you don't really use a lot of the crafted armor or weapons late in the game anyway, so maybe it's not that cool.
I may have missed it. Is there any herbalism?
No, because herbalism and mining and
Leather or skinning.
they're gathering. These are only for the main professions, the whatever the opposite of gathering is.
The
What
ones
is
that
word?
create things, I guess.
Yeah, but doesn't have a word. But yeah. Hold the phone. There's a full ride video of the Dark Moon roller coaster.
Whoa, hold up.
This is a live. I'm playing it right now. Aaron, you can't see it, but imagine you can and react to it.
Okay.
So you're walking up, there's a Pandaren, and she welcomes you on, and you get on the cart, and now
Well, I'm big about the fact that a Pandaren.
imagine you have now entered Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the mode where you can like
Boo, I
ride
don't
the
like-
roller coaster.
I don't like Tycoon 3. It emphasized killing people.
It's literally just Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 right now. Like you are in the first person view of
Shit.
it when you're on it.
I'm getting dizzy.
Hold on, are you guys talking about Thrillville shit?
Is that what it was called?
No, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was different, but my neighbor, for whatever reason, couldn't get Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so we played Thrillville, which was the shitty version of it.
The comments. Well, that looks a little neat.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it finished, I was like, well, what do you get from it?
Oh, it's been explained at BlizzCon that this was an artist's independent work and didn't take any development time. So someone just did it for fun. Someone was just like, hey, I'm making this for you guys. Don't pay me anything. Take it.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that makes it better. Like, I'll ride it.
Yeah, I'll write it a lot. Maybe.
So, I guess we are wrapping up this podcast soon. So, as always, we will close out with top toot of the week, and I'll start this week. My top toot of the week, even though we already mentioned it a little bit earlier in the podcast, has to be finally getting Horde Slayer. I mean, on my main at least, like the one that should have gotten it first. Thank you. Horde Slayer Immunization is here.
Actually, it's Immunization the Horde Slayer.
Okay, fine.
It's okay, you're new at this.
Rude. Okay, well, Aaron, what do you have for top toot of the week?
My top toot of the week was definitely the Defense of Borealis, which is a 20-minute epic that we sort of talked about at the beginning of the show that honestly changed me as a man. It's a real BCAD moment right now. The rest of my WoW career will be knowing that I took place in this Defense of Borealis against 40 to 50 dirty invaders.
So I'm glad that we're living in an ABD era, I guess, after Borealis Defense.
And the biggest thing, we all learned some lessons. We finally understood what it is to be friends. And I got a staff. So there's no need for the dirty Zool tooth anymore. And
No,
that's
the tooth.
real.
Put it back on.
I still have the tooth. It's around. But I will be using my staff for the foreseeable future. And I'm a lot happier with it. So that's my top toot of the week. Slidewhistle, what's your top toot?
Toot toot. My top toot is I'm finally catching up on my new main. New main as in like for 3 months now, 2 months now.
Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer that like you decided that this is your main after you already got all of the main strides on like your warrior.
But now this bummer is becoming a real humdinger.
And honestly, it's the best time to pick a new main because you're going to be going into Battle for Dazar'alor with deoxyribose, and you're going to be getting the same level of equipment that like Immunization and I are getting.
Oh yeah, but I'm catching up on rep hardcore. I've already gotten a Paragon bag with 7th Legion. I have all of my base other reps. They're revered. They're slowly crawling their way to Exalted. I'm caught up on the war campaign, so I'm ready for that next week when the new one drops. I think I'm just gonna keep plugging away. I've been actually doing like actual quests, like real quests, not just world quests, like like real yellow quests, just so I can get rep. Like I'm that desperate for rep because I want Paragon bags so bad. And the mission table is doing so much work for me behind the scenes. Like I'm probably getting like 500 rep, like for each faction, like almost a day, just from being at work on my phone. Like I'm doing it. I'm coming for it.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
But yeah, I think we don't have anything else. I think that's going to be it for us. So if you guys have any emails to send to us, any questions, complaints, comments, dick pics, fun pics, you can send them to donotRelentPod@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at donotRelentPod at Twitter. What about you guys? Where can we find you guys on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at NewEraAlex.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big A Cheesy, and you can find my alternate day job at the newly christened Heroes Call Board on Twitter. It's an alternative podcast where we talk about the message boards regarding Blizzard's games and all the wild and crazy kids that decide to scream on it.
It's a lot. But all right, that's it for us. See you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast from the 3HNC Network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.